Play ball!
Welcome to Ryan Waters' Sports Drive.
Hi, it's Tyler Myers with the Buffalo Sabres, and you're listening to Ryan Waters.
Hey, this is Dante Marsh, your all-star quarterback from the BC Lions, and you're listening to Ryan Waters.
Hi, this is Darren Semnick, head men's basketball coach at UBC Okanagan, and you're listening to the Ryan Waters Sports Drive.
Now, here's your host, Ryan Waters.
Joining us via the on-air hotline is Chris Rock. He's the head coach of the junior varsity football team at Mount Boucherie. They're interior zone champions for the first time ever. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you today?
I'm good. So talk to me about this championship. This is the first time ever that's going to be extra special for this organization.
Yeah, I mean, this is the fourth year we've had JV football in the Okanagan, and up until this season it was dominated by KSS, so it was nice to finally break through and not only beat them a couple times this season, but capture the zone championship as well.
How'd you do it this year? How was it that you knocked them off the pedal stool, if you will?
This year, I think we had a lot of kids that really committed to the off-season program. We had a bunch of guys that were doing weights in the off-season and doing. We had a former pro player come out and run a speed and agility camp for a couple of weeks in the summer. So the kids really came into season much better prepared than they have been in the past. Normally kids are coming up from community or they've never played football and this is their brand new experience. But this year we had quite a few returning players that really put in a lot of effort in the off-season to be prepared. So we started off at a higher level than we'd ever been before. So I think that's what the key was for us this season.
These are grade 9 and 10 students. Is football cool to them?
Well, I sure think it is. So, but I'm a little biased. So, as far as I know, the success we're having is starting to generate some interest. So, kids are, actively talking about it in the schools, from what I've heard, and we're getting more kids out to watch the games, and even at the high school where the JVs play, as opposed to the Apple Bowl where the varsities are at. So, I think we're gradually getting towards more of a football culture at the schools, and that's something that was missing in the past, in my opinion.
Chris Rock, the head coach of the junior varsity team at Mount Boucherie Interior Zone Champions, is my guest here this afternoon. Who are the weapons on this team? Let's drop some names here.
Well, if we're going to start with anybody, I got to start with Keegan Hughes. He's one of our team captains, starting linebacker, and one of the 4 kids that we have playing running back that have had a tremendous amount of success this year. So he kind of leads that charge, and I think he was our first kid we've had on the program to rush for over 1,000 yards. But I got to give a lot of credit to the rest of the team for helping everybody out on that. I don't think we would have had the success if we just had one guy running the ball, but total of 4 guys coming through to, spell each other off and stay fresh for the whole game.
The junior varsity level, obviously, is 9 and 10, as we talked about. That leads to the path of the varsity team, the 11 and 12s. With the success that you've seen this year, and hopefully into next year, can you see Mount Boucherie Bears becoming the force in the Central Okanagan because of these kids starting so early and getting the program done in the summertime and moving their way into the varsity program?
I really think so. Our varsity team this year was very grade 11 dominated. We didn't have a whole lot of returning seniors. I looked through the numbers. We only had, 5 kids that had been with the program since the start of JV football, and now we've got 20 grade 11s, 15 grade 10s coming through. So wow. I think that over the next couple years, we'll start to see a general progression where these teams become more and more competitive with the coast powerhouses that you tend to see, winning the championships year in and year out.
So you win the Interior Zone Championship. Who do you play next? When do the playoffs happen?
Well, this Thursday we've got a game against Centennial High School from Coquitlam. This is an old program established. Their team won the junior varsity and the varsity championships 2 years ago. Wow. They had a down season this year. They compete in the very competitive the Eastern Conference down on the coast, and managed and ended up in 5th place, but went on last week's game to defeat the number 2 seed from the Western Conference. So it just shows that the strength of those 5 teams, and they're definitely not to be taken lightly.
What you've seen on game film, what you've heard through guys talking to you and calling you and emailing you, can you compete against coastal teams and Centennial?
I believe so. We had a couple preseason games against Notre Dame and New Westminster, some of the more traditional schools, and we managed to to come out on the winning end of both of those games in preseason. Obviously, playoffs is a whole different ballgame, and we got to be firing on all cylinders. But from what I've seen on film, and from what I've talked to, getting some scouting reports from other coaches down on the coast, we look to stack up very well with this team. And if the guys go out there and execute, do their jobs, we should come away with the win.
All right, kickoff is set Thursday afternoon, 2 o'clock at the CNC Centennial versus your junior varsity football interior zone champions, the Mount Boucherie Bears. Chris Rock, thanks so much for doing this. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
Your local sports authority is the Ryan Waters Sports Drive.